And it's Saturday, August 30th, the year of our Lord, 2025. You're doing lines with the Let's Not Do This podcast. You got the big O, Leon Oliver, sitting alongside Scotty Too Hottie. It is August 30th, week one of college football. As I spittle off myself, I got so excited, Scotty. I'm steamed up. I'm salivating. I'm spilling coffee. I'm knocking the internet off. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm excited. It's Lee Corso's final game day, and I might get teary-eyed as I watch this roll out. How are you this morning?
Good, yeah. Sometimes you get a little too excited. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Um, but yeah, Lee Corso, final college
Just
game
ask my
day.
prom date about that. I'm a little quick on the draw.
Doesn't surprise me.
Which, by the
But yeah,
way,
let's get through this.
we picked
And
the actual terrible time.
for what?
Yeah, we picked a terrible time to do this show. 9 a.m. on Saturday morning anyway. We're going up against game day. But 9 a.m. on Saturday morning on week one, when the sunshine scooter is riding off into the sunset. Yeah, I think our 8 viewers in Kazakhstan may actually be watching Coach
Well,
this morning as well. Who looks very dapper with his full tuxedo on.
usually that first hour of game day I don't care about anyways, but yeah, today's different. So let's
Yeah.
I guess just go ahead and run through these picks and get out of here.
Yeah, let's dive into it. Before we do that, Chris not with us this morning. He is completing court-ordered rehabilitation. Actually, no, he's got some stuff he's taking care of that's far more important than this. So, kudos to you, Christopher. But let's get into the picks here. We have his picks that will be wrong, but who knows? Right now, Chris this week, he was 4-1 last week, 1-2 thus far this week with the games on Thursday and Friday. Overall, he's 5-3 so far on the year. This is disappointing, but like NC State, I start slow, I finish strong. 1-4 last week, 2-1 this week, and I'm 3-5 right now. I'm bringing up the rear. And Scotty, you and Chris have just been cheating off of each other's papers. You're 4-1 this week. Last week, 1-2 this week, 5-3 overall. So, did you lose money on Army last night? I did.
I didn't bet on that game. I did went from a winning day to a losing day on the Sam Houston and UNLV over last night. It's 2 weeks in a row already. Sam Houston's kind of screwed me at the end, but also the clock was off like the entire second half, and then they were calling delay of games on Sam Houston when they didn't know what clock they were looking at. They didn't the clock because they weren't working. They still called them for a delay of game, and then you're down 17 at the end with like 4 minutes left. You're in field goal range and you go for it on like 4th and 8. Like kick the field goal, catch the over. Could have the 2 touchdowns, but yeah. So I'm probably done betting on Sam Houston games for the rest of the year.
Well, that's what they get. Remember, they were Sam Houston State academically. Then they dropped the state, and they're just Sam Houston athletically. And they spell Wildcats with a K. So that's a pretty fucked up school by all accounts. So we have no faith in them, and they may be dead to you. And that's okay. All right, let's get into the picks this week. And before we do that, make sure to like and subscribe as well. Click that little bell and subscribe so you get all the notifications, and click that like. Make sure that we show up in the feed. And be a friend and tell a friend. We have this show, of course, on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., just giving you college football picks. And when the NFL starts, NFL as well. And then Wednesday nights at 7:30, we got the Let's Not Do This podcast as we give some picks and talk some sports news and pretty much shit on Chris, which is my favorite thing ever. So we have that on Wednesday nights. All right, let's dive into it this week and get into some picks here. Scotty, I will start with Penn State and Nevada. Penn State and Nevada going on in Happy Valley right now. Well, not right now, but you know what I mean. Today, the Wolfpack making the trip, taking on the Nittany Lions. Right now, looks like that is opened up at 45.5. Penn State was a 45.5 point favorite. It's come down in a lot of places to 43.5. I see on FanDuel it is 42.5 right now. Listen, if there's one thing in this world that James Franklin knows is the spread. James Franklin likes to cover the spread, but I like James Franklin with the over-under as well. We've seen him kick field goals and stuff and kind of have a little smirk on his face. He knows. He keeps the alumni happy with that. Penn State, number 2 in the land, they're out to prove a mission this year. They got that new defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, which kind of gives me pause because I'm going to go to the over under here and not the spread. Kind of gives me a little pause because I think they're going to dominate the Wolfpack. But I think Penn State has enough firepower offensively, and I think they want to make enough of a showing out of the gate, especially with Texas and Ohio State playing at noon. I think they want to flex their muscles a little bit, let America know that they're a threat this year. Looks like over under right now, most places is 55. It's 54.5 right now at minus 110 on DraftKings. So I'm going to go ahead and take Penn State, Nevada to go over 54.5, minus 110 on DraftKings right now.
Yeah, I have no thoughts on this game. Hopefully Nevada can at least put up like 7-10 points. Maybe the over hits, but yeah, it'll be a bloodbath.
I think any Colt Nicky's offense there and the Nittany Lions are going to have to do the heavy lifting because I don't know how much the Wolfpack are going to be able to put together offensively. But James Franklin, he's always good for the total. So give me Penn State and the over there. All right, shifting winds here. I apologize for the bad quality of this graphic. I'll fire our graphics intern. We got South Dakota, the Coyotes. They are going to Ames, taking on the Cyclones of Iowa State. This is on Chris's docket. Chris isn't here this morning, but he's on this docket. Before we get into his pick, do you think he thought this was South Dakota State and not South Dakota?
Probably.
Okay, I just want to put it out there.
Likely.
I don't think Chris knows that South Dakota has a football team. Those Coyotes in, I think it's Vermilion, South Dakota. I think it's where they are at. But anyway, I'll let you go ahead with Christopher's pick here.
Or maybe he's fading Iowa State off of that win last week. But I doubt it. Yeah, he probably thinks it's South Dakota State. But he is going with South Dakota. He gave me a bad number plus 14.5 because he hates himself. But I'm going to give him the extra point on FanDuel. You can get it at 15.5. So he's taking South Dakota plus 15.5.
Coyotes plus 15.5.
Why? I don't know.
I mean, look, we saw Iowa State last week, and look, there's a lot of things that rock fight in Farmageddon that they had in Dublin, Ireland against Kansas State. They did not look good. K-State did not look good, but there's a lot of intangibles that go into that. You're traveling across pond. You're in a foreign country. Looks like, the field was really slick. I know it was rainy and wet. There was some concerns about the players on both sides have the right cleats because, a soccer pitch is a little bit different than a football field from a grass standpoint. There's a lot of things that just don't make you look very sexy. That South Dakota State team. I mean, South Dakota State. That South Dakota team is really good. They've made some noise in the FCS over the last couple of years. I actually don't hate it. Taking that 15.5. I'd stay away from it, but I see what he's working here. I actually don't hate it.
Yeah. You mentioned how sloppy they looked, but I think we've seen just a lot of teams in general come out, especially now with the transfer portal. Got 50 new guys out there. Teams, you look at Georgia Tech last night, they should have won by 30 at Colorado. He just came out and they were, I don't know if they were too amped up or nervous or what it was. They just kept giving the ball away and ended up finally eking out a cover at the end there. That was a little bit of a sweat, especially that Hail Mary. Were you watching the end of that game?
I went to bed early. I watched a little bit of the highlights.
Similar situation, same exact situation really last year. I faded Colorado and they hit that Hail Mary to force overtime and then win. Thought that was going to happen again last night. But yeah, we'll talk about Colorado at a future date. I'm sure it'll be on somebody's card next week.
Oh yeah, and then Georgia Tech early on yesterday just did not want to hold on to the football, but they lost two fumbles in the first two drives when they only lost 3 last year. Yeah, it was rough, but they get the win there. So Chris going with South Dakota plus the 15.5 in Ames taking on Iowa State. Chris likes the what the fuck is Iowa? What's that state called? Is it the I don't know. The
The
middle of
Northeast
America state, yeah, the state everyone
fly,
forgets about. I
flyover
don't
state.
know. Chris likes the Iowa team today, or doesn't like them, I guess, because he's got Iowa. He's got the Hawkeyes on his card, taking on the Great Danes of Albany. Speaking of South Dakota State, their former quarterback Mark Gronowski, now the man pulling the trigger for the Hawkeye offense. They finally have a quarterback in Iowa City. We'll see what happens with that. But taking on the Great Danes, where's Chris siding on this one?
I think this is his old faithful. He probably didn't have a lot of time to go through all the games, so he's just going with the old Iowa under 50 and a half on just about every book right now. So yeah, Albany, Iowa, under 50 and a half, and hopefully he's not actually watching that game.
I mean, listen, Iowa defense is going to be very strong, not as strong as the last couple of years, and we'll see what they can do offensively. But yeah, Iowa under as the sun rises and the sun sets is probably usually a pretty good play there. So Iowa under, what was that number again?
50 and a half.
Under 50 and a half for the Hawkeyes. I got no thoughts on this one. You got anything extra?
Yeah, no,
No.
not at
Okay.
all.
Albany, Great Danes. There we go. All right, Scotty, on your card here, we got Hawaii making the trip to the mainland, taking on the Wildcats of Arizona. Didn't get a good graphic of Hawaii's cool helmet that they're wearing today, though, but it's got like a tribal thing like going down the middle. Pretty sweet looking. Warriors always look spiffy. But yeah, making the trip to the mainland, taking on the Wildcats. What say you here?
Yeah, I'm going with Arizona. What's the number that I got? 16 and a half. Bet Rivers has the best number right now. But you look at Arizona, they got Noah Fafita coming back. I think he's going to have a big year. They had a disappointing year last year. I think a lot of people were expecting them to be pretty good. I think they ended up winning like 4 games. But I think they're going to bounce back this year. They have a lot of production returning, relative to the pre-transfer portal days. And when you look at Hawaii, you would think the week 0 teams would have like an advantage playing teams playing their first game, but the numbers historically haven't really shown that. They actually favor the team playing their first game. And then you have Hawaii, who they play week 0, but now they're going on the road. They're much better at home. They might have finally found another quarterback that's pretty good. Redshirt freshman Micah, what's his last name?
I
Alejado.
Yeah.
Micah Alejado. So he looked pretty good, but he was on one leg out there at the end of the game. They still ended up winning a walk-off field goal against Stanford. But I think he's supposed to be playing, but he has a high ankle sprain, so I don't know how well he's going to be able to move. Just all that, them, like I said, the week 0 teams not faring well the next week against the spread historically. And I just don't think Kawhi is that good, especially on the road. I like this Arizona team to bounce back this year. And I think they blow out Hawaii. So it's going to be minus 16 and a half.
16 and a half for the Wildcats at home. Yeah, you mentioned Hawaii having that that difference of their record on the road versus at home. Under Timmy Chang, Hawaii is 2-15 on the road. And I don't think a lot of people really tend to think about that, but like it's a big trip for them. I mean, like Hawaii's out there whenever they go to the mainland, even if it's on the West Coast. If they're going to a USC or UCLA or Washington State or whatever, it's a long freaking trip. It's like the same as Wake Forest or somebody going across country or whatever. I mean, it's every game is on the road is a long road game for these guys, and all the things that go into that, and the travel and the time zones, and it's a lot on those guys.
Yeah, and vice versa when teams have to go there.
Yeah. Plus
they don't have that benefit now.
Plus the distraction of going to Tucson, Arizona, this time of year. There's a lot of pretty ladies in Tucson, Arizona, and if you're not focused on football, it'll get to you. So, yeah, I like that pick a lot, Scotty. That was almost on my card, but I shied away from it. All right, moving on to the next one here. This one is on both of our cards. Alabama heading to Tallahassee. I saw this. It's the first time ever Alabama's making a trip to Florida State. I don't know why this surprises me so much. You would think as long as Bama's been playing football, but historically people don't think about it. Before pre-Bobby Bowden, Florida State football was largely garbage. Before Bobby Bowden came in and changed the culture and did everything there, Bama, of course, was football dynasty for forever. So maybe they didn't have any incentive to have to make that trip to Tallahassee, but you would think somewhere along the way it would have happened. But who knows? But yeah, Bama making the road trip to Tallahassee, taking on Florida State. Can the Seminoles bounce back and get back to their winning ways? I'll let you take this one here, Scotty.
Well, yeah, Bama doesn't like going places out of conference, so that
Well,
has a lot to do with it.
we know they don't like going above the Mason-Dixon, but I figured making a little trip east to Tallahassee wouldn't be too bad. But
Yeah, but I think Bama's going to beat the shit out of Florida State. There's still a 13.5 number on FanDuel. I'd imagine that's probably going to go up to 14 pretty soon, but so grab that while you can. So yeah, I'm taking Alabama minus 13.5. Look at Florida State. They have that new quarterback, Castellanos. Am I saying his name right? Did I add an extra syllable?
Thomas Castellanos from Boston College.
Castellanos,
Yeah.
double L. Yeah. So yeah, he put out some bulletin board material for some reason, saying Nick Saban's not there anymore. Don't know why you would do that. So now you got Alabama's pissed off. I think they're going to be the more physical team. That receiving core is insane. I think they're going to be too much for Florida State. They have the coaching edge. And you look at a lot of people think that Florida State's going to be a lot better this year because they did add some people in the transfer portal. They have the new quarterback. But I don't know. You go back, you look at DJU. No, he's never going to be mistaken for a good quarterback or NFL type quarterback. But you look at him in the preseason, he wasn't terrible. He's sticking around on the Chargers practice squad.
Well,
go look at his tape last year.
Towels and water.
Well, yeah, they could have picked. There's a lot of other quarterbacks out there they could have brought in for their practice squad. But look at him last year, and you would have thought it was like a fourth string tight end playing quarterback or something. It was god awful. So I think a lot of that has to do with just coaching and their system, and I don't know how much better they're going to get with their head coach there. So I still think Florida State's going to be pretty bad, even if they are improved. So yeah, I like this 13.5, even the 14 number. I think Alabama's going to win by 20 plus. Yeah, you can't piss off a team when they're probably laying dormant, not really caring too much about this game. And you can go and say something stupid like that. Alabama's going to come ready to play. They're going to win in a blowout.
Yeah, Alabama didn't have a good year under Alabama standards last year, which is crazy to say. I mean, but Bama's different. Bama, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, these big time programs. Unless you make it to the college football playoff, that's the standard there, and making a run in the playoff now, that's the standard. They didn't have that type of year last year. They're salty about that. Number one. Then you got a guy who was at Boston College of all fucking places coming in, coming off the top rope, talking stuff. Bama's going to be fired up, okay? Ty Simpson, he's got the keys to the Alabama offense now. He's kind of sat around for a while, waited his turn. Now they're going to turn things over to them. I don't know if you're going to have to ask him to do a lot. Obviously, Bama had issues running the ball last year. We'll see, can they get that established early on? But they got one of, if not the best receiver in America, and Ryan Williams there, what he can do. I mean, he is an absolute beast. Florida State, there's just so many unknowns. I mean, you have a new quarterback. I think they only returned like 2 starters on offense. You got, what was it, the former Alabama running back, Roydell Williams there was one of the guys coming back, and I think like a left guard or something. So there's a lot of unknowns. They did pick up a couple key players. Squirrel White from Tennessee, the wide receiver coming over. I think they picked up Deuce Robinson from USC. But I think one of the big differentiators for Florida State this year is going to be Gus Malzahn coming in as offensive coordinator. I mean, when you really think about that, to resign as a head coach, to then go up to Tallahassee, become the OC, that's got to add some spark to Florida State offensively. But yeah, they just don't have the horses in the barn to run with Alabama. What that number that you got was, you had it at 13.5?
Yeah, let me double check to make sure FanDuel still has it, because I'm pretty sure that's going to move. Because everywhere else is 14.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of 14s. I've seen some 14s and a half. If that 13 and a half is still out there, I'm going to join you on that 13 and a half, whatever the number is. You can put the damn thing at 19. I don't care. As you said, they're going to win by 20. Bama is going to show up and impose their will and make Florida State understand that there's levels to this game and you're not at this level. And you're going to see the difference in talent. You're going to see the difference in depth early on, and they're going to score early and often. It ain't going to be pretty. You can turn from this game probably by the time you're midway through the second quarter. Bama rolls, whatever that number is.
Yeah, it's still 13 and a half. It's at
13 and a
minus
half.
120. But
Okay, yeah. Give me that 13 and a half, minus 120 there on
yeah,
FanDuel. Where's Chris riding on this one? Did he have this game?
oh no, he didn't have this one.
No, he didn't have this one. Okay.
No.
All right. Let's move on here to some of the creme de la creme ones here. Notre Dame, this one on tomorrow evening. Notre Dame making the trip to South Florida, taking on Miami. Catholics versus convicts for a new generation, fighting Irish, going to South Florida, taking on the Hurricanes. Carson Beck under center for Miami. What say you, Scotty?
I think both of these teams are overrated. We got to pick somebody here. I do think Miami keeps it close and covers the 3, but I'm not picking that here. I'm actually going to go with the under here. You look at Notre Dame. I don't know what they're going to do on offense. They have a redshirt freshman starting, but their defense is still going to be really good. The defensive line, secondary, just still going to be a really, really good defense. You look at Miami. I don't know what to make of Carson Beck. He annoys me. He's coming off an injury too, and they have a whole new set of young receivers. So it might take them a little bit to get going if they ever do. Yeah, just Sunday night game in Miami. I think it's going to be a kind of a physical game with maybe the defenses being better than the offenses. And I like the under in this one. The number I got was 51 and a half on ESPN right now.
51 and a half on the under. Okay. I literally have been going back and forth on this one. I did do a sprinkle. I mean, it's not even that big. I took Miami money line here. I do think Miami wins this game. Seeing it at like plus 120 for Miami money line in a lot of places. I kind of want to get on the total. I kind of want to go on the over under. I was leaning toward that under, but I had to differentiate myself from you early on because I'm already trailing you right now. But yeah, I'm going to go with Miami. I know it's going to be what I think it's like 83 supposed to be tomorrow. I think it's supposed to be a little bit of rain. So yeah, in that South Florida heat, the humidity could be a little bit of a difference maker to keep an eye out on the weather there. Carson Beck, we know what he is. We'll see what he can do with this Miami team. There's been a lot of change there, but I think they're building something here. Is this year that Miami is finally back? It's kind of like Texas. We always talk about, is Texas back? Is this year that Miami's finally back? Everyone had big expectations for them last year. And then we saw a couple of debacles. Of course, we all remember the Virginia Tech game and all of that. So give me Miami. I'm going to take Miami money line. I think it's at 120 right now. I think on a lot of places. So give me Miami money line right now.
That's your bet. You're not going to take the 3.
I feel confident in it. You know what? Fuck it.
Okay.
I'll take the 3. I'll take the 3. I'll take the 3 because I did actually bet the money line, but for the purpose of this show, if you're going to give me the 3 points, I'll take the 3 points.
Exactly. Chris is riding with you too. Miami plus 3, which is surprising.
But I was trying to differentiate. I knew he was going to go on the side. I was trying to differentiate. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah. All right. Perfect.
I don't think either of these teams are going to be top 10 at the end of the year.
Ooh. Feisty. Well, Notre Dame doesn't have to play Northern Illinois this year, so that's one less speed bump for them. All right, moving on here. The battle for the real Death Valley, LSU at Clemson. This is going to be a fun one here. Last time these two teams played was for the national title, if I remember correctly. Brian Kelly I'll go ahead and start with this one. Brian Kelly in openers at LSU. I think the last time they won an opener was like what 2019 or something like that at LSU. They, for whatever reason, they start slow under Brian Kelly, and it's not a place you want to go to at Clemson to open up the season. Is Clemson back to the level that program has established, the last 7, 8, 9 years? They've kind of taken a step back the last couple. Cade Klubnik, one of the better quarterbacks in college football. I mean, obviously he's going to be in that Heisman conversation there. Give me Clemson. I think, where is it? I just saw the total. Sorry, I'm running two screens here, Scotty, because of my internet issues, and my computer is being a little wacky. There you go. -4. Yeah, it's 4.5 at some places. I don't think I see anything lower than that. Yeah, so give me Clemson minus the 4 points. Looks like that is -4 right now. 110 on BetMGM. I'll go ahead and take Clemson minus the 4 points here.
Yeah, Chris agrees with you there.
God damn it!
So I'll be happy to go the other way. It's actually +4.5 in a couple places. I know Fanatics has it at 4.5 at -110, so that's probably where I'll be placing my bet. We talk about SEC bias, and I feel like Clemson's getting the SEC bias here. I don't think is Klubnik that good. Everybody keeps saying he is. He hasn't really shown it yet. He was okay last year, but I don't know. I think he's the second best quarterback in this game. I think Garrett Nussmeier is going to be the guy that's going to be a Heisman finalist, not Klubnik. I have a ticket out there for LSU to win the SEC this year. I think it's 7-1. I like this LSU team. I know Brian Kelly opening week on the road isn't always the greatest thing, but I'm not sure if they're going to win this game, but I like the 4.5 points. I know Dabo's actually using the transfer portal for once, but I don't know. If Clemson's not in the ACC last year, they don't make the playoff. I think we're just overrating them. I think they're going to run through the ACC this year, but I don't think they're that national championship contending team that I think LSU could be. I do think LSU is a better overall team. I know going on the road is a huge factor, especially at Clemson, but yeah, I think this will be a close game. I think LSU covers the 4.5.
One thing that is interesting to me about this game is the LSU defense. Problem last year is they gave up a lot of big plays, and I know they got a new defensive coordinator. His name is slipping me right now. He came over from Missouri last year. The big plays that they give up, and they got Harold Perkins, and they moved him around. They're doing a couple different things with him. He's a bit of a freak, but at the same time, I feel like he freelances a lot and kind of plays a little bit of a star ball and exposes himself. I want to see more discipline and more assignment football out of that LSU defense, because the talent is there. And I don't know why I feel I was looking at the over under on this. I was kind of drifting that way at first. I feel like this game is going to be a bit of a shootout, and I feel like it's going to be one or two big plays and a lapse here and there defensively. Some a blown assignment, somebody trying to do too much for LSU. That's going to be the difference in this one. You really high on the Tigers. You said you got them 7-1 on to win the SEC on the ticket.
Yeah, I just think that offense is going to be really good. I think Nussmeier is going to have a huge game. Hopefully the defense can improve. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. But yeah, that total is 57.5.
57.5. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to touch that.
If it was 53, 54 maybe, but 57 feels a little high. That's why I'm going to go ahead and take Clemson and just take them to cover the spread there. But should be a good one. I'm looking forward to this one more so than any other game actually this week. As crazy as that sounds, I think this will be a really, really good one. And by the way, Clemson fans, you better pray that portal works because if it don't, Dabo ain't going back. He ain't going back. It's like, Scotty, it's like when your parents buy you something, like the first time you get like a really nice pair of shoes, or you get a video game and you break it or you lose it early on, like you're never going to get it again. That's Dabo in the transfer portal. If these additions don't work, he ain't going back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, he might just retire.
All right. The piece de resistance college game day in Columbus, Ohio. You got big noon kickoff. Barstool was barred apparently from having their Barstool tailgate show there. Dave Portnoy was apparently barred from entering Ohio Stadium. Texas taking on Ohio State. Before we get into this game, I, it kills me that this is a noon kick. And I get it. It's Fox's differentiator having this big noon kickoff, but just the buzz and the hype and the electricity and everything for this game. I mean, yeah, it's great because we can kind of spread these games out throughout the day and have a little bit of a, you know, you start off early, but this is like eating Thanksgiving dinner at like noon, and then like you got to follow up with everything else afterwards. Like we need to build to this game. This should be under the lights. This should be just noon kick for this kind of game kills me.
Yeah, I don't. This definitely should be a night game, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'll go first here.
off.
Chris is taking again. He sent me a bad number. He sent me Ohio State -1, but you can actually get to +1.5 over on DraftKings. That's where I'm going too. Arch Manning, I don't know. Everybody's anointing him #1 pick. All this. And I think he will be pretty good, but I don't see this great, surefire #1 overall NFL draft pick that all these other people see. Like I said, I think he'll be good, but if he was that good, you look at last year when Quinn Ewers got hurt and he came back, he was just trash, basically. Sarkisian still wouldn't put Arch Manning in. So is that him just being stubborn, not letting the guy lose his job to injury, or did Arch just not show him enough to put him in? Because if Arch is that guy, Texas probably wins the national championship last year, or get close to it at least, closer than they did. But yeah, man, I don't know. I have to see it from Arch Manning. Just like Michael Parsons, they're leaving Texas to go on the road to Ohio State. That's probably gonna be a crazy atmosphere, even though it is a noon kickoff. Yeah, I just think Ohio State is the better team, and they're at home, and there's a reason why they opened as like a 3-point favorite. I think the public has probably pushed Texas, but you saw as soon as that number, like Texas was favored in most places by like a point, I think at some point yesterday, and then money immediately came back in on Ohio State. So I feel like the sharps are probably on Ohio State and the public are on Texas. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, I just think Ohio State is the better team. Texas, a little overhyped. And yeah, give me the 1.5. Ohio State's going to win this game.
So Ohio State minus the 1.5. All right. I
Plus
thought that.
1.5.
Wait, you're getting a plus?
Yeah, on DraftKings.
Okay, I have Action Network up. I actually have not actually placed my bet on this one yet. I have Action Network, and they're showing, at least on my end, with all the odds. They could be wrong. I'm sure they're behind. But they're showing DraftKings minus 1.5. I have not logged into my DraftKings live yet.
It might have changed by the time I looked at it like an hour ago.
If you got that in an hour ago, that's not bad.
No, it's -1.5 now, so I'll still take that.
Okay, so you're taking Ohio State minus the 1.5? No, if you already put it in, yes. I don't want you to change your side.
Well, no,
the bet's moved now.
If we're giving out picks, but no, it's -1 at well, actually, it's a pick at Bet Rivers right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, money line, Ohio State money line.
Ohio State money line for you. Okay.
I'll give that to Chris too.
So here's the thing for me right now: just Ohio State. Obviously, defending national champion, all that, but this ain't the same team as last year. They've lost a lot, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You look at up front, you have to replace the coordinators, everything too, and I think that's going to be a big thing that not a lot of people are talking about. Then also, you have Julian Sayin taking over as quarterback. We talk about Arch Manning. I mean, he's still hasn't had a ton of experience, but he's thrown like 95 passes or something like that. Julian Sayin now stepping in, getting his first start. We saw him, be the backup before. He was at Alabama before that, transfers to Ohio State. This is a hell of a time to make your first start when you're the quarterback of the defending national champion with the Texas Longhorns coming into town. Big noon kickoff, college game day, all that stuff. That's a lot of big lights for a kid that is just debuting right now. And when I look at that matchup of quarterback, I'm going to give that edge to Texas right now. When I look at the defensive side of things, when I look at especially up front in the defensive line, I'm going to give that edge to Texas right now. And I'm sorry, I know he has a national championship. I'm still going to give the coaching edge to Texas over Ryan Day. Buckeye fans, you're going to come for me. That's okay. Born on third base, Ryan Day. That team was absolutely loaded. You could fall out of bed and win a national championship last year. Let's see you do it this year. I like Texas in this game. I actually do like them outright. I got that in earlier this week. But for the betting purposes on this show, give me the Longhorns. Plus, looks like 1.5 right now. I can get, looks like that is minus 112 right now on DraftKings. Give me Texas plus the 1.5. But I like the Longhorns here. And I feel like they could probably win by touchdown in this game.
Yeah, you're wrong. That's okay.
I will say though,
I'll widen the gap on you.
I'm intrigued to see, what they do to combat Jeremiah Smith in this game because I mean that guy's an absolute freak. So I'm intrigued to see what Texas tries to do to limit him. But yeah, I think just the biggest thing is I know Ohio State, they got a good linebacker unit coming back, but that's one of the biggest things to me is just that complete overall with the defensive line at Ohio State. Are they going to be able to get to Arch? Are they going to be able to pressure him? And hey, he ain't, he's not Eli and he's not Peyton. Arch has wheels. He can move. So, if you can flush him out of the pocket, will you be able to contain him? And does Texas bring any design runs or what do they do to kind of get him mobile? Because he can make those plays with his feet as well. I think Arch is the big difference. I think it's him and the defensive line, just the lack of experience that we just don't know, that unproven commodity for Ohio State. And I think there's been a lot of turnover. You lose that defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, and I think that's got to be worth a couple points, in my opinion. I mean, that guy's a defensive wizard. We got Matt Patricia back there, but Matt Patricia's glory days are long gone, I feel like. How much has he going to adapt his style to the college game? Is he still the same Matt Patricia that was winning Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator in New England? How much of that was Bill Belichick scheming as well? We don't know. There's just so many unknown quantities with Ohio State that scares me.
Does he still have the pencil in his ear that he never uses?
Well, no, because at Ohio State, I don't think they have pencils or books or whatever. They just want to know your 40 time, how much you can bench, and you're good to go. I don't think a pencil has been seen on that campus, since 1933. So, yeah.
Flashcards.
Yeah.
For everything.
Oh, I'm sure Ohio's going to come for me. That's okay, Ohio. I don't like you either. I'll give you to Canada. Maybe we could solve this whole tariff thing, just not to get political, but just give Ohio to Canada, and then we can just figure out the rest. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Just remind me I need to talk to you about something when we get off air.
All right. Something I've said, something I've done. The FCC the FCC can't hassle me or something. I forget.
Well, there's a conspiracy going around on Twitter.
Oh, I'm good for a good tinfoil hat. I'm always good with that.
Yeah, we do not need to bring up here.
No.
Real quick, you had Bama minus 13.5, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't write that down.
Yeah, Bama's going to roll, figuratively and literally roll tide there. Scotty, I didn't have this on the card. This is not a official pick, but you know me. I always have to get into the FCS, the football championship subdivision here. I'm going to give you all a little free FCS money dog. What am I talking about? Underdog money line sprinkle this afternoon. And for that, you have to go to the beautiful Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Davidson, the Wildcats at home, taking on Georgetown. Watch out for this Georgetown team this year. I want to give you Georgetown money line. I don't have it in front of me because my computer is being wonky. But look that up wherever you can get it right now. I'm telling you, that's my FCS dog of the day. Georgetown money line over Davidson. This is not a basketball game.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know Georgetown had a football team, so I'll take your word for it. 2.5. I'm seeing. They're
Okay.
playing Davidson.
Yes.
Money
Yeah.
line plus 114 in FanDuel.
There we go. Plus 114. So I'm going to go
Speaking
bet
of
that.
underdogs, we will have our underdog parlay coming back next week. Not a lot going on this week.
A lot
A lot of big
indeed.
spreads.
Yes. Dude, you set me up for a joke there, and I didn't take it. But just know that I had jokes. You can't say big spreads on the show and not expect me to have a joke. But I censored myself. Thank you. For once in my life, I censored myself. So, all right. Well, that'll do. That'll do it. We'll wrap things up here. We'll be back. Join us on Wednesday. Remember, change to the Let's Not Do This podcast. We're coming back on Wednesday evening at 7:30. Make sure to join us right here on Facebook and Rumble and of course YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe and be a friend and tell a friend. And also make sure to pull up and follow Getting Loose podcast on social as well. I'll be giving some picks. First round of NASCAR playoffs starting tomorrow. I'll give you my projected champion for that and also my thoughts on the race tomorrow as well. So a lot of fun stuff going on. Plus F1 is back from its summer break in the Netherlands. So I'll have some thoughts on that. And I might slip in the IndyCar pick as well for their season finale as well. So a lot of good racing tomorrow. Oh, real quick before we get out of here, South Carolina, Virginia Tech. You have on your Virginia Tech shirt. Any thoughts you want to share?
Go
on
Hokies.
Go Hokies.
Hokies win on a last second field goal.
Virginia
2019.
Today. Virginia today playing Coastal Carolina. Last time I saw, Virginia was giving free tickets, I believe, to Albemarle County and Charlottesville City school employees and their families. I believe they can get up to 4 free tickets for today's game. That tells you all you need to know about ticket sales in Charlottesville right now as to who's opened their season against Coastal Carolina. So yeah,
somebody's got to go to that game.
Someone. It ain't gonna be me. For your Hokies, I actually did place a bet on this when I was out of state. Fortunately, it was on one of the apps where I can't pull up my out of state bets right now, but I placed a bet on this in New Jersey a couple of weeks ago. Right now, ESPN bet is showing South Carolina minus the 7.5. Give me the Cox minus the 7.5 all day long. I know a lot of people had expectations about Virginia Tech last year. We saw some injuries and inconsistent play. The new defensive coordinator coming in this year, it ain't going to matter. I think South Carolina, a lot of people have a lot of high expectations for them this year. I know a lot of people are picking to kind of fade them to come back to the pack a little bit, not live up to those expectations. This is a hungry team. I love Nick Harbor. He didn't run track this spring. He concentrated on football. Lenore Sellers is going to be in that Heisman conversation if South Carolina has the season that they're supposed to have. And Joe Giglio, Ovis and Giglio podcast down there in Raleigh, always talks about Clemson, where Clemson has one of these games against the ACC team where they, fuck you, we're still Clemson, and they blow you out and they roll you. South Carolina is going to have fuck you, we're in the SEC game against Virginia Tech. And you're going to see the difference in talent. And I'm sorry, you're going to see the difference in coaching because I'm not sold on Brent Pry. And I think Brent Pry may not make it to the Commonwealth Clash for Virginia by the end of the year if things go the way I expect for Virginia
We'll
Tech.
still win that, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could probably put out Chris against there, and they could probably beat Virginia. I just don't know what it is. It's like Danny Ford, coaching Clemson back in the day, used to say Virginia was the other white meat. That's how Virginia Tech, I think, feels about them. But yeah, South Carolina they're going to roll over the Hokies. I like them by 2 touchdowns easily. It ain't going to be pretty, and I don't think Shane's going to have any problem twisting the knife into his alma mater there. Now the question is, does Frank wear South Carolina stuff, or will Frank be wearing Hokie stuff tomorrow?
Oh, Hokie, for sure.
But your boy's coaching. You got to support your boy.
Nah. Frank's not doing that.
It'll be like the time I was on the Virginia sideline and I look over and I see Sonny Randall, uh, who was coach at Virginia before, and Jim Grove was coaching Wake, and Sonny Randall's on the sideline sporting Wake Forest stuff. So that was a little weird to see, but what are you gonna do? All right, well, there we go. That'll do things for this week. Make sure to join us Wednesday right back here, 7:30 for the Let's Not Do This podcast. I forgot the name of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
All right.
changed, Jerry Jones.
Never
You're
change.
doing a great job.
Micah Parsons, congratulations on your new deal. You're about to learn a lot about taxes in the lovely state of Wisconsin. They do have income tax, unlike the great state of Texas. So that 188 million ain't going to go as far, but hey, go with God. All right. Until next time, be a friend, tell a friend. Aloha means goodbye. And drink some beers, drink some ranch waters, drink some tequila, drink some bourbon, drink whatever you want, some high noons, whatever it is. College football's back. Let's bet on it. Let's lose some money. I'm also going to lose some money on tennis as well. I might be living with you next week, Scotty. We'll see you then.
No.